Well, we'll just pull away from those stories and take you live now to Nigel Farage. He has finally emerged on stage in central London, where he is giving a press conference this afternoon, in fact. Let's see if we can take a listen to that now.
Single seat this morning was taken, leaving a big waiting list. I can tell that we're going to turn this into a massive organisation that stands up and fights for the rights of all of our military veterans. None of them ever should be left behind. And the need for this is very great, because we have a government who, whilst they talk about defence, frankly, are doing little about it. Apart, of course, from not just giving away the Chagos Islands and the military base at Diego Garcia, which for our vital American allies is their single most important base anywhere in the world outside of America. No, he's not just giving it away. He's paying them to take off us what is rightfully ours. We have a government led by human rights lawyers, a government prepared to bow down to some vague concept of international law administered by foreign courts, and a government that I believe doesn't have a patriotic bone in its body. These people are not with us. And of course, the prosecutions continue, not just of people who did their job in very, very tense, difficult and dangerous circumstances in Northern Ireland up to half a century ago, but now they're going for our special forces. Now they're after the SAS for virtually any action that took place. I have met face to face some of the men who are facing this misery. I have spoken to former commanders of both the SBS and the SAS, and they tell me the result on recruitment is literally catastrophic. Our armed forces are something we should be immensely proud of. Our armed forces are something the rest of the world looks up to. Our armed forces, in conjunction, particularly with the Americans and our other close allies, are one of the most important contributions we have to make to any defence alliance. And yet, under this government, they are under serious threat and serious assault. But this isn't new. This isn't just this government. Because frankly, if you look back at 14 years of Conservative government, what you see is promise after promise, for example, on the defence budget. And yet at the end of those 14 years, despite the fact the world is undoubtedly a more dangerous place than it's been for many, many decades, at the end of that 14 years, they were spending less on defence in percentage terms than the Gordon Brown government was 14 years before. And the refusal to stand up for the rights of veterans is what led to what I think was the very principled resignation of Johnny Mercer MP as Veterans Minister. He said, enough is enough, and resigned his job. And don't we need more people in politics with that level of courage, belief and conviction? Well, in the end, they did put some legislation in place, but it was legislation, frankly, that was never destined to work, for reasons I'll come to in a short while. But I want to say this. Never again must there be a case like that of Dennis Hutchins. Dennis Hutchins hounded through the courts, arrested at 5 o'clock. I mean, a man in his mid-70s arrested at 5 o'clock in the morning for carrying out his duty in, as I've said already, those difficult, dangerous and tense environments that we faced in Northern Ireland. Dennis Hutchins hounded until the day he died, whilst every IRA terrorist faces no prospect of prosecution whatsoever. I am pleased that we have peace in Northern Ireland, but we're beginning to see that some of the surrenders that were made from the Belfast Agreement and onwards by the Blair government have led to this ridiculous situation. If we're going to absolve those who potentially were terrorists 50 years ago, the very least we can do is to absolve not just the memory of Dennis Hutchins, but all those now and in the future who may go through this process. And to that end, I promise you that a Reform government will end all of these vexatious claims taken against our veterans from conflict after conflict. And for those who've been found guilty under very dubious codes of the Human Rights Act, we will grant a royal pardon of mercy on their names. And I have a feeling that ranged against us, we have the metropolitan elites. Ranged against us, we have the Human Rights Brigade. Yeah, I'm not too keen on them either, I've got to tell you. By the way, I did polish my shoes to come here today. I hope you've all noted. They're raged against us, but I'll tell you increasingly who is with us. The silent, decent majority of law-abiding people in this country. They know the difference between right and wrong, and we're going to make sure, through the strength of this organisation, they clearly, loudly and consistently hear our voice, and many, many more will come to our support. But it won't just be the silent majority. We will even get more political figures, more public figures standing up and defending what we are fighting for. And one of those figures is with us today. Oh. Trouble is, the last time I did this, I said, please enter stage right, Robert Jenrick. Nothing. I thought perhaps he changed his mind. And then he put some music on in the intermission. So I'll try it another time. Somebody who's reached high office in the cabinet, reaching up to the rank of Home Secretary, but was there during those years and saw the betrayal of both our current and our former military, and now has the courage of her, there's a clue, and now has the courage of her convictions to come and stand with me on a Reform platform and speak to you today, because it's about time, isn't it? It's about time the establishment owned up to what they got wrong. She was witness to much of us. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage former Home Secretary Suella Braverman.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind the more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
Thank you, Nigel, for that wonderful introduction. I feel like I've come home. Thank you. And I gotta say, what an honour it is to be with all of you. Gallant, noble, brave servicemen and women. You've put your country first. You've sacrificed. You've given us everything. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for the United Kingdom. Now, you didn't do that for applause. You didn't serve your country for reward. You did it because you believe passionately in the greatness of our country. You believe fiercely in its valor. You're not apologizing for our history. You're proud of the vast contribution that Britain has made to civilization for centuries. And you have put your lives on the line in phenomenal acts of bravery, time and time again, ultimately because of love. Love of our dear country. And it's because of that same love that I am standing here today. I too share that love of our country. I inherited it from my parents. They came to this country with nothing in the 1960s. My dad wasn't even 20 when he was kicked out of Kenya and came to the United Kingdom. My mother was an 18-year-old girl when she was recruited by the NHS in Mauritius. They came here and they devoted their lives to the service of this country because of gratitude. Gratitude for the stability and the opportunity that this country gave them. And when a country gives you everything, like it has done me, you owe it loyalty. And loyalty demands honesty. And honesty compels me to say this today. Britain is indeed broken. She is suffering. She is not well. Immigration is out of control. Our public services are on their knees. People don't feel safe. Our youngsters are leaving the country for better futures elsewhere. We can't even defend ourselves, and our nation stands weak and humiliated on the world stage. So we stand at a crossroads. We can either continue down this route of managed decline to weakness and surrender, or we can fix our country, reclaim our power, rediscover our strength. I believe that a better Britain is possible. And because I believe that is possible, today I'm announcing that I resign the Conservative whip. Done it. I resigned the Conservative whip and my party membership, a party membership of 30 years. It's gone. It's over today. And because I believe with my heart and soul that a better future is possible for us, I am joining Reform UK. And I will sit as the Member of Parliament for Fareham Waterlooville, representing this great party, Reform UK, with immediate effect. Now, I haven't taken this decision lightly, and I know there'll be some people, particularly in Fareham Waterlooville Conservatives, who will feel sad and disappointed by this. I will explain my reasons in full later on today, but right now I want to talk about you, our veterans, because you deserve to be heard. Now, in Fareham Waterlooville, from the beaches of Portchester, you can look across the water at the naval dockyards in Portsmouth. And we are very, very proud of our Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers in Pompey. Anyone here from Pompey today? Very good. Good men. Up the Pompey. And indeed, Waterlooville gets its name from that famous victory over Napoleon, because returning soldiers would stop in my constituency to celebrate with a pint on their way home. And over the last decade of being a Member of Parliament, I've had the deep honour of meeting many of our brave servicemen and women around the world. I visited our Royal Marines in the Arctic Circle, and we camped out overnight in sub-zero temperatures in the depths of the Norwegian forest. I'm brave. I didn't do the ice jump. I will confess I didn't do the ice jump. I'm brave, but I'm not that brave. I've watched our soldiers train on the Canadian prairie in Alberta. And I've met our new recruits from HMS Collingwood, brimming with hope and pride and courage. And in Fareham and Waterlooville itself, there are thousands of veterans. Sometimes there are roads where almost every house has someone who has served. And whether it's a new apprentice or a D-Day veteran, a veteran from Afghan or from the Falklands, I have learnt so much from you. And I've learnt one big lesson, and it's this, that the reality of service life bears no resemblance to the rhetoric. Because the truth is this, for all the warm words and the symbolic gestures, we have failed our veterans. I've met too many veterans whose housing just isn't good enough. Why? Because MOD is broken, DIO doesn't work, and service family accommodation is not good enough. I've met too many veterans who can't get the medical treatment that they deserve for injuries that they sustained in service. For those who gave us their everything, we've left to fight alone. It's a national disgrace. Why? Why has this happened? Because over the last decade, defence spending has been hollowed out. Our armed forces stand at the smallest number in 200 years. Our equipment is inadequate. Our aircraft carriers don't even have enough aircraft or destroyers. Our resilience is depleted. We can't even defend ourselves. What kind of country is that? And the biggest scandal of all, the relentless pursuit of our brave servicemen through the courts decades after their duty has been done. The biggest scandal. Men who fought terrorism, men who protected us from the IRA, hounded through the courts on spurious prosecutions for doing their duty. It's one of the biggest scandals of our nation. How has it been allowed to happen? Because of the European Convention on Human Rights. The ECHR. The ECHR is a system whereby the human rights of terrorists have become more important than your human rights. It's a system where IRA families can claim compensation and British soldiers must be prosecuted for murder. It's a system of law which has been weaponized by our enemies against our brave. Now, when I was Attorney General 6 years ago, I worked on the law to protect our veterans. But the truth is, it was virtually impossible because of the ECHR. And so the following year, in 2022, I broke ranks, and I became the first Conservative minister to say publicly what needed to be said, that the United Kingdom must withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights. End the madness, stand up for our soldiers, leave our veterans in peace. And what did the Conservative Party say? My Conservative ministerial colleagues. They said, no, we can't do that. It's too divisive, it's too difficult, too dangerous, not the right time. You see, even those who are leading the Conservative Party today failed to understand what needed to be done, and they opposed me. You see, when it mattered, when we had the majority, when we had the power, indeed when we had the duty, the Conservative Party utterly failed to do the right thing for the British people. I didn't give up. The following year, when I was Home Secretary, I tried again. This time, I pleaded personally with the Prime Minister himself. What did he do? He ignored me, then he blocked me, and then he sacked me. All the while, promising to the British people that he would do whatever it takes to stop the boats and protect our veterans. Saying one thing in public, doing the total opposite in private. And as my friend Robert Jenrick has found, that's the great tragedy with the Conservative Party. Great speeches, good slogans, but when the cameras are off, when the doors are shut, And when they're sat behind that table making the difficult decisions for the country, they fold. When push comes to shove, they go AWOL. No courage, no backbone, no resolve. Even today, their so-called promise to leave the ECHR. It's a lie. It's a lie. Half of the Conservative MPs are dead against it. Another group don't even understand it. And a mere handful sincerely believe that it's the right thing to do. So I'm calling time. I'm calling time on Tory betrayal. I'm calling time on Tory lies. I'm calling time on a party that keeps making promises with zero intention of keeping them. I tried my best. I tried privately, politely, nicely. I can be nice. They ignored me. Then I tried loudly and forcefully, and then they sacked me and punished me for telling the truth. You see, the truth is, there is no way on earth that the Conservative Party will ever take the United Kingdom out of the ECHR, and there is no way on earth it will ever keep its promises to you. Enough is enough. Enough of this political delusion. Enough of this political lies. Enough of these political chameleons who say one thing to one group and then another thing to another group. The country is crying out for authentic leadership, credible leadership, leadership that it can trust. And you know, how you can tell if someone is authentic and credible? You ask yourself, have they been consistent? And there is only one man in British politics who has been courageously consistent for his country, and that man is Nigel Farage. It's true. It's true. When the establishment has tried to shut him down, they've tried to destroy him, they've tried to vilify him and smear him, he has kept standing up and speaking for you, speaking the truth, speaking our fears, saying what we've all needed to hear. He's not backed down in the face of vicious onslaught, vicious vitriol and backlash. When Nigel Farage said that the country was at breaking point because immigration was out of control, the establishment tried to smear him and demonize him. But he was proven right, and the British people backed him. When Nigel Farage said that the EU was destroying democracy, the government tried to shut him down. But he was proven right, and the British people backed him. And today, when Nigel Farage is the only political leader with the backbone to say that Britain is broken and Reform UK will fix it, the mainstream parties are doing everything they can to destroy him. But you know what? They won't do it. Because Nigel Farage is right, and the British people are backing him.
Thank you.
Nigel knows about courage. You know about courage. Courage means not flinching under pressure. Courage means facing down your opponent and carrying on with steadfast determination. Courage means overcoming adversity with strength. Courage means keeping your promises to your country. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, it's the honour of my life to join your team today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. Well, what about that? What about that? And a big boost for veterans, for reform, and for the party as a whole. And she was right about one thing. We have to remove the barriers. We have to remove the barriers to the right things being done. And I'm afraid, whatever the good intentions of the European Convention on Human Rights over 3/4 of a century ago, it is no longer appropriate for the 21st century world. We will remove the barriers to justice for our veterans and much else by leaving the ECHR. But today isn't just about stopping prosecutions and pardoning people. There's something much deeper that matters. How can it be that somebody who enters our country illegally, having destroyed their identity documents, is a higher priority for housing than a former serviceman or woman who has fallen on hard times? It's outrageous, it's wrong, and it's time to start putting our own people and our own veterans community first. And we must do that. And we must do that. And we will do that. I want to thank you all for coming here today. Well done for getting in early for the tickets, because there's a big waiting list. It's been a great event, an uplifting event, and I know that much of what was said earlier, I could sense watching from the gallery. There was some pretty deep emotion in the room too. And I want, just before we end, I know that many of you know what loss is. You've seen it on your active service, and so I would like to end what I think has been a very, very important event. If you'd all stand, please, and join me in a minute's silence for the fallen.